have you just were you just on about them, weren't you?
Yeah, the bungee jump. Yeah, so you've done bungee jumps.
You do bungee jumps, don't you? But did you just see what you saw? I didn't see.
Yeah, so she's 21, over in Brazil, and so it's a viral video, and it's gone viral. They pushed her off the bridge.
Yeah.
One of the guys had thought that he'd clipped her up, and the other guy thought, yeah, he'd clipped her up, pushed her off. She weren't clipped up, died.
They've literally just chucked her
21
off.
in Brazil. Wow.
That is bad. And you're on about doing.
And you're trying to get us to do a bungee jump.
That's a sign not to do it, isn't it?
For the viewers, I've just asked Baz. I said, "Do you want to come to one of these retreats?" And straight away, Martin was like, "Yeah, I do bungee jumps." And now I'm like, looking at you. Oh, no, do a fucking bungee jump.
Drop the bass.
So today's episode, before we start, we get every guest. Well, say every guest, but you two are our first guests.
Yeah.
How man's that?
Episode 1.
Episode 1, really.
Yeah.
We got you two little gifts here.
Yeah. So
How's
football's
England?
on. So when you do support England, don't you? Well, both England fans, so fight between yourselves. One's red, one's white.
Got England's out there.
You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Just throw them under the table, you're right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're going to be talking about Iraq, Afghan, meditation, healing, stuff like that. I know it's big for you, mate. And I remember last time when you was come on, it was probably one of the most talked about episode I did, to be fair.
Yeah.
The amount of people saying, "Nah, where's if you've got Baz to speak?" And I said, "I didn't get him to speak." He said, "You just come round to my gaff." And then because we're mates, he spoke. And everyone was like, "Nah, was it your mum who texted me as well?"
I don't know.
So I think it might be your mum and said, "I've never had him, heard him speak like that before."
I didn't actually watch it back over me.
You don't, yeah,
No,
I don't
because
watch my
I was
stuff,
I was flapping all through. I felt like I was,
no.
I'm a bit more confident this time because I got used to it at the end. So
the only thing I watch back now is like if I'm on the news or something, because people record it and they tag me in it. But like the what they call documentaries I've done, I never watch it back because you're just like, oh, it looks like I'm up here. Oh, look, he's staring him. You know what I mean? But then
Criticize boards.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So
that's crazy how you was nervous because you do MCing, so you're all right with the music side.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's how I get my thoughts out. Definitely.
Yeah. That's
and process thoughts as well.
Yeah,
we're actually going to plug your new song. Did you do the video?
We didn't do the video up. It's
we'll plug it anywhere, and then where they can find it, where it's going to be like is it going on YouTube?
Hustle and Floor Media.
Right, we'll put it on there.
Next
we'll
week.
put that at the end, yeah, see if that's all right. So for the video, obviously we know who you are. Martin, do you want to give us a little bit of a backstory? You know who you are, what you're up to, who you are as a man, and maybe lead into why you joined the army, and then we'll do the same with you, B, if that's all right.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So my name is Martin. Born and bred in Preston. Now I focus on my business called Health, Happiness and Healing. It's I guess it was birthed out of a need to provide support and empowerment for anybody that's looking to sort of move forwards in life and experience life instead of just living. Military-wise, I joined the army back in 2005, and I can't speak for everyone, but I think I joined the army out of it was a need to fit in somewhere. Felt very lost as a young man, you know. So it wasn't really a romantic story about wanting to fight for my country or, you know, do this great deed. It was just sort of a means to an end for me at that moment in my life. Yeah.
And if there were other, see, that's crazy, I think, because maybe if there were 10 other options out there, more opportunities for young people, that you might have done something totally different.
Yeah.
And I know you ended up being in a very sticky situation with a suicide bomber, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
And part of your arm got damaged. We'll talk about that a little bit later, right? So yeah, cool. So
there was nobody in your family in the army then? It was just you decided off your own back you wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, one of my granddads were in the army, but I think at the time, after high school, I went to college, did graphic design for a little bit, did a year of that, and then I was pretty much an alcoholic at that point, like 16, 17-ish.
Yeah, we all were.
And then,
White Lightning, was it, maybe?
Probably, 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Is that MD 2020?
The Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. It's not even called Mad Dog, is it? We just don't call it Mad Dog.
It's not called Mad Dog.
No, it's not called Mad Dog, no. I don't know what it's called, but everyone...
Well, the cool kids called it Mad Dog.
Yeah.
And then... I remember being uptight with my friend and was like, man, what are we going to do with our lives? Like, it was like, actually, we'll go to, I think it was called Connections, where they help you find a career after school.
Yeah.
And look at them sort of pathways. And then I said, right, well, and then we'll have a look at careers office. We ended up going to Army careers office first because it was the closest. And then we said, should we just join the army and then go to the pub now? And they went, yeah, all right. And that's how we joined.
Crazy. So you know what's crazy? When someone says connections, right? I never use that for jobs. I just went upstairs and got my Johnnies. The amount of times I've had it horrible. Remember, like, they don't do it now. Remember the gotta be careful. It's the rod. I'm like, you jammy bastards. Now you're just pissing a cup. I remember going, this won't stick, this won't hurt one little bit. Remember that being, that crazy. So B, what about yourself? A bit about you, history, why you joined?
I was going off the rails a bit, to be honest with you. My uncle committed suicide when I was about 20. And I had a daughter, Antonia, had just been born. So I just had to make something of myself. It was either do that or I was going to end up in jail. I was doing that many silly things. And then I was drink driving and I got caught. And I got out of the cells and just walked straight to the careers office, didn't even go home, and just signed up from there. And everyone doubted me. All my family doubted me, all my friends. And it was just like motivation just to prove everyone wrong.
Is that when Preston Police Station used to be the old one? Literally you had a 3-minute walk to the careers office, that's it, because you used to walk down past Greyfriars.
But them 24 hours in the cells that I'd already decided. There's a lot of thinking in there. I was like, I can't be in here anymore.
That's unbelievable. That's incredible.
It's weird you say that, right? Because honestly, I've never been in prison, but I got arrested once when I was younger, and I did 3 days, and it was random. It weren't supposed to be 3 days, but it was like bank holiday, so they didn't give a shit about me. And I remember coming out after 3 days, and I swear down, you may as well have asked me like I'd done 30 years. I was like, how did they stay in there for that long? I was like, nah, and I've never done it wrong since then, because it's like, and I believe that's what a lot of young people need, innit? That's what it's going to be like.
That's why I do kind of believe in national service, because I think so many people go off the rails. Luckily, like Barry's saying there, he was strong enough in that cell that day to think, you know what, I want to better myself, I want to do something with my life. But there's so many young lads who might not, and young ladies who might not have that same mindset. So do you know, like, I do feel like maybe if it wasn't pushed on you to do the national service for like 2 years, but at least something in school. I know you can go to your Cubs and your Scouts and all that thing, but you know, just something,
what, 6-week course or something that.
Just something course. Because like I'm not nothing compared to these guys, but I spent time in the military and it changed my life massively. Before, this is not about me obviously, but before I joined the army, I was very much like Baz, and I wanted to prove to myself I can do something in life, and I wanted to kind of impress my mum, if you will, because she worked 3 jobs, and it completely, when I went from, everybody doubted me like you just said, and when I went from there to coming out, I'm a completely different person.
We said this before, we'll probably crack into it a little bit later, about everyone's not lucky, are they, to have that the best way to explain it is, we said if you've got 100 people that have been through something traumatic in their life, it's sad to understand it that probably more do bad after that trauma than they do good, isn't it?
Yeah,
so you've got to understand, everyone around this table, no matter what you're going through, you are one of the lucky ones. You know, like, you've got kids now, I've known you for years, you're funny as out, your sound as out, you know, but I know you go through shit. This is the crazy thing, innit? Yeah. And I'm the same, we said before, everyone's like, oh, Byron's doing all right, but actually I fucking hate my life. Remember, you nearly cried last week, didn't you? I told him to try, I fucking hate my life. But I also love it. And then you're like, well, I've been through bad stuff, so I'm going to jump off fucking buildings and shit. You know what I mean? We bungee jump, and then you're the same. You've been through your bad stuff, and then we randomly met, even though we've been mates for years. And now we're like, when do I do a podcast? Now we're really filming kids doing fucking picking up liquor and all that.
It's me, Byron.
Yeah. This morning we're at Asda work. We're filming what's his name again?
Little Henry the litter picker.
Henry the little picker. So we're filming
4-year-old who decided his own back to start doing litter.
I'm getting my ass waxed off his bird on camera, and it's like, but at the same time, you might look at us and go like, "Fuck me, they're having a good time, but we're still having a bad time."
Still
we choose,
yeah.
So you went to correct me if I'm wrong. When did you go first? Was it Afghan? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I first went to Afghan in 2008.
2008.
Yeah. So 2008. When did you start like from when you joined the army? How much training did you do up to that 2008 point? What year did you join?
So I joined as an engineer. I joined in 2005.
Right.
So then you go for your basic training. Then you get a trading engineer. So you do that trade training.
Yeah.
Then you do combat engineer training, and then I did obviously the P company side of things to become a paratrooper within the engineers, an airborne engineer. So yeah, 3 years pretty much.
Wow. So literally 3 years, and then you like. So I'm guessing was you on the front line? Is that your job to be engineers? Is
Well,
it
we
kind
can
of
sort of slot in anywhere, but yeah, we was in the FOBs, which is forward operating bases.
wow?
Well, 3 years, that's probably a lot longer than some lads in infantry, isn't it? From you doing your training to actually getting deployed.
Oh yeah, I joined in 5th of October 2008, and by the summer, no, it wasn't. It was October. I was in Afghan.
It's great, isn't
What,
it?
so 12 months?
It's not much of a leading period,
Like
is
a
it?
year?
Yeah, 12, 13 months.
Wow. And sorry, how old were you then, Barry?
21 when I joined, and I passed out on my 22nd birthday.
Yeah, I think I would have been 21 on my first tour as well.
It's crazy, that, isn't it? That's some speed. That when if you go to college to do travel and tourism, to even just pass that, you've got to do like a 3-year course.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To take someone Butlins
Yeah,
or a beefer.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it? It's
Straight
mad.
from soldiers of the UK, some of us
And
like out there.
when did you go then? So you did yours 13 months, and then you went to, where'd you go first?
I got based in Cyprus.
Okay.
Straight after training.
That's your, is it, what do you call it again when you get used to the heat?
Decompression you got.
Decompression. No, that's afterwards, isn't it?
Afterwards,
What's the first, what do you call it when you get used to the heat? Is it acclimatising?
Acclimatising.
So when you're in Cyprus, you're on 24 hours notice to move. You're on you're a standby battalion in Cyprus because you're already acclimatised to the heat, so you're ready to go.
Yeah.
24 hours notice. That's what we got. We got called up. 24 hours we were there, and then come back for a few months. Then we went back again.
So I'm guessing you're kind of thinking, hey, up Cyprus, like you're on a bit of an holiday.
Yeah, because we got the choice. Yeah, I could either go 1 Lancs or 2 Lancs.
Right.
And I was like, right, 1 Lancs the best in Catterick where it's raining all the time and it's cold and miserable.
Yeah.
Or Cyprus where Napa is. So I was like, I go to 2 Lancs.
So what, 1 Lancs and 2 Lancs, so that's different regiments, is it?
Yeah,
within the army?
so was you in QLR
I was in
for a bit?
QLR at first, yeah.
Yeah, so QLR, the King's Regiment and the King's Own Rail Border Regiment, they amalgamated into 1 Lancs and 2 Lancs just before I got to battalion.
Ah, right.
So I was with all the scouts in the banks. So really, if I should have been in 1 Lancs with where all the QLR lads were.
Right, yeah.
But you chose Sun, and we'll be careful because your missus is in the room.
Iron Napa, is it? Is it Iron Napa, Cyprus?
Yeah, and it's an hour drive. It was like driving to Manchester from here, and he was in Iron Napa.
That is class.
Wow.
And then, so in 2009, is that when you suffered your injury?
No, 2008, yeah.
Or 2008, sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm
We've
looking
been
at yours
that
here.
bit, yeah.
So, do you want to, I'm crazy to asking it, do you want to take us through what happened there
So
then?
quite similar here too. Weirdly,
Yeah, a year in between.
A year in between we both total.
So 2008, 2009, 2011, 2010, and then the 13.
So you've kind of just kind of crossed paths
Yeah.
there at some point, haven't you? Yeah.
So that first tour, we'd been out about 3 months at that point. So we were based in a tiny little FOB, which was, I believe, previously just a mud compound that had been taken over from Taliban before we got there.
Sorry, what's a FOB, Martin? Just for the
Forward
viewers.
operating base. So
Right.
obviously you got your main bases within Afghanistan,
Yeah.
Bastion, Sangin, places like that.
Right.
And then within the front line, you've got tiny little operating bases that you sleep,
Right.
recuperate and whatnot, and then you
Yeah.
go out on your patrols from those areas. And the FOB we was at were called FOB Incoming, but we nicknamed it FOB Incoming because every day around 3 o'clock you get Taliban and fire RPGs above the base, so they burst fragments all over you.
At 3 o'clock, like, roughly like clockwork.
Pretty much like clockwork.
So that's more like it's not going to actually probably cause damage. It's more like shower.
No, it causes damage because
right.
in Afghan it's not common to find weapon caches where they'll find RPG heads and they'll smother it in their feces. So if you get a little bit of fragments in you, it can cause infection, things like that, just take you out that way and slow things down.
That is mental, isn't it? That is crazy.
So FOB Incoming at that time, until then it was relatively quiet. No, there were not really any contacts.
Yeah.
And then one day we've been out on a patrol for about 6 hours. We was literally 1k away from our FOB. We just come into a little T-junction of compounds. Two of the para lads noticed someone that looked a bit suspicious, so they went to just search him and talk to him. And then the section commander was knelt by my side just checking something, and there were probably another 100 guys behind me. And I just said to the section commander, which way do you want everyone to come in? Left or right? I can't remember what he said, but as soon as I turned around to tell the person behind me, there was a doorway right in front of us, literally over end of there. And obviously the guys come out and set himself off and ended up killing the 2 guys that searched the other guy, and killed the section commander that were next to my side, and obviously injured myself.
When you say come out, you mean sprinted out, like ran out?
Well, this is the thing. No one saw him. No one had the opportunity to do anything about it, because it was just either a door's opened and it's big explosion. You know.
Yeah, because you've got to have like human time to think, haven't you? Work out. Oh,
yeah.
Jeez, imagine that.
So I'm guessing everything just slows down, does it? Like,
I remember it quite vividly, because it was just like I've been hit all over my body at once with a baseball bat, and just intense ringing in my ears, and just obviously clouds of dust everywhere. I couldn't really see anything. And then I just remember hearing my voice. So my nickname at Army was Stu Little. And so I was like,
mine was Susan Boyle, because I had through training. I had a Boyle.
Actually.
I had a Boyle somewhere.
Susan Boyle, innit?
Brilliant.
Susan Boyle.
Something I got on picture now. And then I just followed my friends shouting my name through the dust. And then at the time I had an LMG, which is known as a light machine. It was quite a bulky weapon. That was just disappeared, and that was in pieces. And I looked down, and my arm was just sort of pinned up here, and I had what looked like, I could get a flower petalled out.
Yeah.
It looked like that. My arm was just petaled out and just obviously bleeding quite badly. So I just had my arm up here. But yeah, I didn't fall over, I didn't go unconscious or anything, and maybe a friend just sat me down, and then one of the teammates come through, give me some morphine, and then patched me up. And then, yeah, obviously the other 3 lads were in a lot worse shape, so they got sort of main priority first in getting vehicles to come from the FOB to pick us up and then just drive us back to our base. Like I said, it was only about a K away. I remember actually just before that happened, before we stopped in that little T-junction, I was thinking to myself, if this was in England, this would be a really nice little walk now, because it was a beautiful sunny hot day. There was little turquoise river running by, loads of nice green plants everywhere. I was like, it's quite nice this. Knowing that we were nearly finished a patrol as well, I was like, yeah, it's good this. And then it all
absolute carnage.
All turned upside down, yeah. So yeah, the other lads obviously were a lot less fortunate than me. Like I said, 3 of them lost their lives on that incident.
Did they die instantly?
One of them died instantly. One of them died back at Bastion. So obviously when we all got Kazi back to our little FOB, we was waiting for the helicopter to come and get us all to go to Bastion. One of the other lads lost his lives there. And then I believe the other guy lost his life as they were operating in Bastion, like the main base in Afghan.
Yeah.
Obviously when that's happened and you're seeing all the sand and everything, and obviously I'm guessing noise, rings, all that kind of stuff, does your training kick in, or do you start just feeling, are you thinking about yourself like in a bit of a selfish way, you're just thinking, I need to, do you know what I mean, like what's your thought process at that point?
I guess it depends on the severity of the experience. So on my second tour, I was in a lot of kinetic situations, but I wasn't injured badly or anything, so I was able to respond and deal with those situations from quite a present place. But at that time when I got injured, I didn't have a clue where I was really or what had happened, because I had no idea it was going to happen. So I just followed my mate's voice, and then that was it. I was obviously pretty much slipping into shock straight away as well. Just
yeah.
Like what the
could you just
on?
That
I can't believe you said that your LMG was in bits.
Yeah.
And your arms, you showed me your arm. Well, can I have a look at your arms?
Yeah, of course.
And because the LMG is fully made out of metal, isn't it? Obviously, look at that.
So that's where it was like all petaled out.
Yeah.
And then a piece of metal go into that scar.
Yeah.
Go straight through my arm, come out of that side.
So you look, it's like an artery or anything.
Didn't break any bones.
Wow.
So
what is that? Sorry, man. Is that shrapnel then? What's actually, or is it a bird? What's caused the damage there?
One of the ball bearings that suicide vests usually have.
Yeah.
They put nuts and bolts and what they call it, shipyard confetti.
Yeah.
Wow.
So any bits of metal just to fly into and cause damage. So a big ball bearing going there, and that's where it was all petaled out. And then because they had bits of shrapnel in here, they had to obviously take all the skin to get as much as possible.
Is that a skin graft?
Yeah, they took that from me thigh. I've still got a bit of shrapnel in my legs. That, but not a lot.
Show off.
But even as a skin graft, they usually like different colour, like, and you. Like, if you want, I know you don't want an injury, but if you want an injury to heal all right, you want it to heal like that, don't you?
Do you know what I can't believe is the fact that like you've been through this, and then obviously that's a serious injury, but then you've gone on another tour. Like, I was like,
Just let me tell you something funny first. Because of all the nerve damage in my hands, in my arm, these two fingers, they stay solid when they are extended.
Yeah.
I can clench my fist, but as soon as you open them like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I first start going back out and that, you know, you're out and about and you get pictures with people, they're always doing that gun finger pose because I don't know. They're not
Like the guy off Happy Gilmore.
So yeah, I was back in the UK within 24 hours. I had like the initial surgery because I think there was touch and go whether they were going to lose my arm at the beginning. Because I remember being in Bastion and when I was getting a load more morphine, the nurse, she said, "Do you want some morphine?" I was like, yeah. So she gave me some morphine. And she went, I was actually, "Do you want any more?" I said, yeah, give me some more. Just give me some more. I went, "How's that?" I went, "Yeah, that's good." And then she went, "Do you want some more?" I went,
Yeah.
she gave me some more. She went, "How's that now?" I went, "Do you want some more?" I went, "Give me
Just
then."
kept giving it, yeah.
That's all I remember really, and I was back in UK. So yeah, I had the initial surgery and stuff, and skin grafts, and then I was in, what's it called? Selyoke at the time. Headley Court, that's the one. Headley Court. So we're down there for about 18 months. That's where it's like a big military rehabilitation place for physical or mental challenges. So yeah, I did a few months there, and then you go back to Barracks for a couple of weeks, go back to Headley Court, and I spent months just pushing my fingers into plasticine and putting pennies into
Oh yeah.
coin containers just to get used to the nerves and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, we were getting ready to deploy again about a year after that 18-month period. And the only reason I tried to stay in the army really was to go back to Afghan. Because at the time I was like so full of anger and just needed to vent that in the only way I knew. And I guess that was, I needed to go back to Afghan to prove a point.
Anger because of what they'd done to you and your comrades kind of thing, or just...
Yeah, it was like a massive slap to the ego, I guess. I felt like I'd been beaten.
Right.
So at the time, when I started going out after I got released from that 18-month period, it was evident there was something going wrong because, I'd go out drinking, I'd be fighting all the time. Anyone would nudge you or look at me funny. I just saw it as an opportunity to fight or, just to vent something. Because there was so much anger going on and confusion from what happened and everything else that led up to joining the army,
Yeah.
And I remember they sent an army psychiatrist out actually, and she said, like, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, basically," and at this point I was like, internally, I was pretending to be this manly man, but I was screaming outside for help, I felt so lost, so vulnerable. And the psychiatrist, I explained to her that, well, I've started going out again now and drinking. As soon as I have a few drinks, I feel these emotions coming up and I don't know what to do. And so I just look for the nearest opportunity to let it go on someone. And her advice was, "Okay, well, first of all, just try and stop drinking." I was like, "Right, okay, I'll do my best." And she went, and then with regards to the problems, honestly, the more you talk about it, the worse it's going to get. If you don't talk about it, eventually it's going to go away. And at the time like that, I'm not a trained psychiatrist, but that is the worst advice you can give someone. And so at that point, I was like, I just sort of give up hope. And I thought, right, well, this is.
I get that all the time. They say like people go, "How do you do all that work you do and talk about that?" And I go, "It helped me. It makes you feel good." You know what I mean? It's good. It's good to get it off your chest.
So sorry, can you go? I'm just trying to. So can you go from like being in Afghanistan in a war zone and then 24 hours later nightclubbing? Like, is it? Do you not get taken anywhere to like kind of just a week? Do you know before you come back to the city? Like, do you get like a week somewhere, or can
if you manage to do a full tour, then you go to Cyprus for a couple of days for decompression.
Just for a couple of days.
24 hours it is.
Wow.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that what you did? 24 hours?
Yeah, it's not enough.
No,
it's not enough, and it's not like well structured. It was just a piss up.
They just give you cans of beer, don't they? They just let you fight and that and just get
do they really just try and get it a little
alcohol, athletic psychopaths, most of us, and they give you alcohol and then you go back to England,
Wow.
So also, you just said then you did 18 months rehabilitation. When you were doing the 18 months, was you still doing like military stuff, like physical training and because surely would you not lose to go to another tour? Would you not lose your skills kind of thing if you're?
Well, for the first, so that 18-month period, I think for about 12 months I was in Headley Court, full time.
Well, not doing anything towards the military, not doing any.
No, because I couldn't
range or anything. Yeah, that's
use my hand in my arm, so that was priority. So obviously every day was a well-structured program to help me improve physically and mentally, I guess, as well. Yeah. And they do a lot of good work down there. And then once I started getting let back to barracks for a short period of time, you'd maybe do 4 weeks there, 4 weeks there, and just switch back and forwards.
Wow.
So you integrate back into unit a little bit more.
Yeah.
So by the time that 18 month was finished, I was pretty strong again at that point. Obviously, the nerve damage will always be there, but physically, I was good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then on the second tour then, Martin, obviously this has happened in the first tour, like your mindset. Like, obviously, the first time you've gone on the plane and you're flying over to Afghan, you've not got a clue what's going to happen. I'm guessing you're trained to do your job, but you're being sent out to Afghan. The second time you're being sent out to Afghan, this has happened. Is your mindset different? Like you said, you're angry, but you also guessing scared, or what's your thought process from the first one to the second one?
I think I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared or they weren't nervous, because you're going into such an unknown situation, time and time again.
Yeah, I bet you were the same, weren't you? Because you had incidents happen on all three, didn't you?
The third tour, I don't know anything happened on the third one, but it's like you said there, when Dee Dee died on the second one, Captain Griffiths and Skippy, then going back the third time was for revenge. Do you know what I mean? But we got shot at once and we were sat in an armed vehicle, pinging off the side or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But the first two was always every day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. Do
you want to take us into your first one then, 2009, the build-up, stuff like that, and what happened, and lead up to obviously these guys who sadly you lost, and then it'd be good to see if there's any similar kind of like effects and stuff. And I mean, already you've said revenge, didn't you? And in your
anger, which is I'm guessing it's just a natural emotion. Like,
Well, you get angry if fucking someone takes your bird, let alone someone.
What you do?
Someone got a bird down. If someone bloody blows you up or shoots at your mate and stuff like that. So
when you go for them situations and you're on high alert all the time, you're in that constant state of fight or flight. So when you come back to the UK and you've got time to be with your thoughts, that's when the problems start. So a lot of soldiers that have been and seen a lot of combat experience, they'll crave to be back in that high risk situation because that's where they feel most at home. And that's the backwards thing. So when I left the army, I went straight into armed security afterwards. I felt comfortable because I still had a gun. I was still under threat, and that's when I operated the best. And I guess that's when you're part of that war machine. It's just constantly going around until you fully step out of that cycle.
Yeah,
crazy.
Do you not think like your mind starts going in overdrive and everything's going right in your life, and then you end up self-destructing?
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
I think that, and the crazy thing is, right, no matter, even because I've met so many people now, I've been for trial, I've met women whose sons have drowned, dads whose kids have been stabbed to death, I've met women whose sons have been shot in the head, and these are all, and I've met soldiers like you guys, and every single time, even though it's a different experience, the brain always reacts with the same, like you get paranoid. They're just doing studies now. I wish I knew we were going to go into this topic a little bit, where they're saying that, I might be obviously saying this wrong, but something like social awareness trauma. So I don't know about you two, but say I go into a nightclub, even if I'm having a good time, I'll shovel more alcohol down me because everyone's like, what's up with you? You're having a good time? I'm like, yeah, I'm having a banging time. Yeah, but I'm looking at the guy over there and the girl over there, and I know that she might have looked at one of my mates or me. That's her, and I'm noticing. It's like fucking playing Call of Duty in my head.
It's like seeing things before they happen.
Command and Conquer. Yeah. And everyone's like, we better chill out. Next minute, before you know it, God forbid, touch wood, I'm not like that now, but I have like dashed bottles at people, glass people, and I've been glassing that, and then everyone's like, why'd you do that? But then how am I supposed to explain to someone like outside like a psychopath that I saw that lad was doing something in him, and it's like, and then recently I've just been doing some research on it, finding out it's a real thing. It sharpens your senses of trauma so much that even though you feel like shit because your brain's making you feel like that, really your brain's making you fight or flight better. Do you know what I mean? It's like you won't get bitten off a line twice, will you? You know what I mean? So if you get bit and you go, fucking hell, next time I'll go out into the wilderness and I'm hunting, I'm going to make sure I take a weapon with me. I'm going to make sure I'm a bit more prepared than what I was last time. So you're on edge, aren't you? But then you come back then you're like, well, I didn't get fucking bitten. Do you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So anyway, back to the point, because we'll
just trying to say about that self-destruct. I used to do that a lot, So is that from trauma, do you think?
100%.
Going well, and it's just been happening recently, but I've not gone into the self-destruct where things have been going well. I mean, sat at home thinking, it's not right, something's going to happen or something.
Yeah, I do.
And at that point, I used to go into self-destruct, but recently I've not, and I don't know, I've not done any therapy or anything. I don't know whether Yeah, it's when you said that, it's just it picks up on something for me.
You're constantly like looking for things to like this it right. Everything's going well, and like you're constantly like observing everything.
I wonder why do you reckon?
Do you not feel like
it's the PTSD?
Yeah, it's because of people popping out a building, shooting us in it, and chucking grenades over walls and running out with.
I call mine Pete. I told you when we spoke last week. I think you're like me. We've got people PTSD, where no matter how good you do, how much you're having fun, you're always aware that there will be 20 people at any given time calling you every name under the sun, worse than Hitler, worse than anybody they've had beef with, just because we're posting videos on Facebook. And it's like it sounds minute compared to you two, obviously. But like when my brother died, that was the worst thing I've ever been through. Now that I've been through it, it's like, well, no, nothing like that would ever affect me the same again, because I've overcome it. Do you know what I mean? Now that all the dust has settled on years ago, now it's a constant attack from people, and it's like, why are you attacking me, man? I don't go out and fight anyone or do anything dodgy. I'm just a sound guy. I like to think I am. Do you know what I mean? But we
left training straight to Cyprus for a few months. And then we got deployed. It's like I said on that plane, when you first get on that plane from Dubai. When you get in the army plane, it's not like a normal plane. Like you see all the wires and stuff. Like there's nothing boxed in. And you can hear everything, all the fans or whatever
rattling.
And you just look around thinking, what's going on here? Like,
sure they had a better plane than they.
It lands and then the doors open from the back, and you just think, what's going to happen now? Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that's like because they don't want you having comfort before you're there? Do you know what I mean? Because if you go there in kind of any comfort, do you know, like they try to almost get
is it Hercules?
Yeah. I don't know the reason. It's probably just because it's
cargo,
it's cheaper.
And the bullets,
they can get tanks on them and everything.
They're going to get bashed up.
Into a cargo plane,
I get that. Yeah, so you're in that, you land.
Yeah, so the back opens like that, and you just think, what's going to happen here? We're going to start getting shot at and stuff, and then you walk out and it's Camp Bastion, and it's just like safer than Manchester. You know, it's got its own bus route and all that, and then you spend like 9 days there, like doing training before you go out on the front line. And then we went on the front line. First patrol, Campbell got shot through his face straight away. So that was me. I had to switch on. Like I was like,
explain that, because that's the first person. That's the thing. I know one of your really good mates got killed, but I always remember that one because the way he described it last time is, it was like, you know what, a bit like you walking down a nice walk, and then you said you heard the pop, and then next minute, explain it.
So we got to the compound, and like there was like 9 of us going to live in this compound on the front line.
What was the compound called?
Blue 17.
Okay.
We were 17. So we was taking over these like 9 Scottish lads, and then this Scottish sergeant, I said it on the last one, you know what happened, but he took us out and he's like, listen, it's proper kinetic. You step 1 foot north, it's going off every time. So I was dead young, and that the first time out. It was a lot of our first times. There was like a couple lads who'd been in Iraq before. But even there was only 23. 24. And they was in charge of like all of us. So as soon as we went out, probably got about 50 metres north.
50 metres?
Yeah, about 50 metres.
50 metres is probably to my car.
Similar to what you were saying, isn't it?
And then he just completely went off with 360, like completely surrounded, round just flying in from everywhere. You could hear up branches snapping, and that was in irrigation ditches, trying to pop up, get a few rounds off and stuff. Next thing, we a man down. It's like, man down. Obviously, that means someone's hurt.
What's his lad's name again?
Campbell.
And did Campbell, he's just landed with you, so he's fresh as well?
Yeah, he's fresh as well. He joined battalion 2 weeks after me.
Right.
So I'm thinking, man down, who's
so
man
this
down?
Is the guy, Campbell, you've been out drinking with him, your sound, your mates, he's part of your battalion.
Yeah, we was all boys. You get put in the company when you get to battalion, and then you live with each other.
Yeah.
Do everything with each other. So the family.
Yeah.
So
at what point did you realise it was Campbell? Was it a bit like when everyone starts screaming the nickname or the name?
Well, you've all got headsets on.
Okay.
And you've all got ZAP numbers, which is first 2 letters, your second name, and then the last 4 digits of your army number. So everyone knows each other's, because when you're going through training, you go through all these drills constantly, over and over again. I'm like, no way, it's Campbell.
And are you thinking, what are you thinking? Are you thinking, is he dead? Is he all right? He's going to be sound. Let's grab him. Let's move. At
Well,
what point did you realise?
another like Joe Miller, Kazzy backed him, picked him up on his shoulder, ran past me. And then I'm still getting rounds down, even though rounds are coming from everywhere. I don't know where the Taliban are shooting from. And then his day sat gets passed like back through the line of lads that were with.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just full of blood. And I'm thinking, no way.
Wow.
He's a goner him.
Yeah.
But they got him back to Nadi Ali, Shortcut it was called. Yeah. Like the fob, like he was saying, but this was Nadi Ali.
Yeah.
They got him back there, got back to Bastion, flew back to Birmingham, and they saved him. He's gone straight through his nose and out of his neck.
Wow. What any like
serious
after injuries to live with?
Yeah, obviously I saw a few operations and that, but he was back in battalion a few months later.
Wow, back. I didn't even get that from you last time because we were moving so quick. But he was actually back.
Yeah, he stayed in for quite a few years after that. He just had a little mark there. The exit wound was a bit bigger at the back of his neck. Well, yeah, it wasn't too bad. He obviously saw lucky not to hit any main arteries or anything like that.
Mate, imagine that.
So that's literally, if it's a step forward, step back, and it could be, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It could be. It's just
fair. Or in a wheelchair, because like your spine goes right out, doesn't it, into your cranium.
So was that a sniper then, did you say, or did they not know what it was?
They don't know where it come from.
So it could have been AK.
We was getting 360, so the Taliban was all around us in a circle. We was in the middle. And they was all shooting from all the different ways.
So obviously, if you're just leaving the fob and you're getting contacted like that so quick, like, is there nothing? There's nothing going up in the air first, just to, because obviously, if you're gonna, I don't know, I'm just thinking here, but if you're gonna come and attack the British Army or whatever, then the first place you're gonna go to is this fob. So do you know, before you even leave, are they not like going up with an helicopter or something, just like, or infrared and scanning before you even leave?
No, Taliban, I don't think they're...
us. The village, if all these lads have left the camp, because they both said, now they've literally walked from here to here, and they've only walked 50 metres.
They used to go up and do like recce's and stuff, like the planes that they had, like recce planes. Is that what they're called? Recce planes, where they go really high up.
Yeah. And
they'd like plan stuff and look for where they are and stuff. But the only time we'd get erring is if we was absolutely getting pinned down when it was the last resort.
There's not the resource there available.
It's changed that because have you not seen, like when you look at the videos where is it? Where Russia's attacking now? Ukraine, like it's all drones, isn't it?
Yeah, different warfare now.
Because imagine then, right now, you're there, drone goes up, they're waiting for a straight away, boom, you're in, aren't you? And then maybe
we did call airing quite a lot, like F-16s and Apaches.
Well, I mean, just wrecking and checking.
The tank busters, A10s, where they'd nosedive at a target and it'd sound so...
Oh, Call of Duty.
It's always nice to see.
We was in another compound on the second tour, and the Taliban was in these mountains, and we was having a firefight for about 3 hours, and they were just like, "No, I'm going to get the Apaches in." So called the Apache, and the Apaches flew over our heads. Like that, boom, let the hellfire off into these mountains, bang, obliterated the Taliban. And the Apache turned around, come past our compound like as low as it could, like about the height of a house in England. And both of them were just sat there like, giving us thumbs up and that.
You're all safe, lads.
Yeah.
You don't get that in Battlefield, do you? That is sick. So right, we've been through that, and then he survived, and then touch subject, but let's move on to your mate, Didi. So what happened then? Was that the first tour as well, the second tour?
No, this is the second. So the first tour, for the remainder of that first tour, we were just in constant firefights. Like,
did you lose anyone else?
That tour, I didn't of any of my friends, no.
But you heard of people?
Oh yeah, there's people dying everywhere in Afghan then. Like if someone died in Afghan, they call something called op minimise, so you couldn't ring home or anything like that.
Oh,
it's like op minimise is now in force. I repeat, op minimise, and when you heard that, you was like, no way, something bad's happened.
Yeah.
And it was happening like twice a day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you've heard of that before as well.
Yeah.
So that's like, so people don't want the news getting hold of it and stuff like that. And other soldiers died. Yeah. So crazy. Then we're moving then to your second tour. So 2009, 2010, second one.
Yeah.
Is this when you only had that little tiny break as well? How much of a break did you have?
I think it was about 3 or 4 months.
Okay, in England or Cyprus?
So we come back and we come back after the first tour. We got 4 weeks leave.
Yeah.
Come back to England. like let loose for a full month.
Yeah.
Spent all our money.
Yeah.
Went back to Cyprus, and then had like 2 months training, and then we got the phone call, you're going back again.
Okay.
Before you sent out, do you go see like any psychiatrist or doctor? If you've done a tour, like do you go for any kind of assessment?
No, but
prior to your second one.
No, but I think when you leave the forces now, I think they should be implementing, like, everyone needs to get screened by a psychiatrist, do you think?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they just chuck you out on Civvy Street and just like...
No, not the one that I seen, but yeah, a proper psychiatrist.
You don't really know.
Yeah.
You
Don't
really,
talk about it, you be sound.
you don't really realise, like, there's something wrong until you like let out and you just like in Tesco, like waiting in queues and that, and like everything, you're just constantly looking for stuff to go wrong.
It's crazy you've just said that. We've been talking about recently. I'm the same, but I don't use Tesco's as an example. I might do it. You know what? If I was, Spider-Man the film, and it shows them like slow motion bits, and it goes, and here's a taxi come through the thing, but it's like that, innit?
Yeah.
But like, you're hearing people talk and you know that person's just said something bad about you and you're like, nah, they can't have. But then I'm like, I know they just have my outside vision has just seen them, look at this dickhead here, or whatever it is they might be saying, or looking at whoever I'm with, or beefing with someone, and you just can't fucking turn it off. It's mad, innit? And that's exactly what, that's crazy, that, innit?
But I should have gone to Asda, because I might
you might have seen him dancing. No, he's been sacked. He's sacked now. He's sacked, yeah.
Dancing down R12. Hey, you're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah. But you know what, we're going to get him the next, because we've had to like invest, and we had to invest in new mics, so we just bought the Aircon, which again, it's getting warm. We're going to have to drill a hole to get it out there, so the Aircon will be working eventually. We're going to get him one of my 4K GoPros, so the after videos are going to be going 4K very soon. So you'll be able to see his beans in HD. So you had 4 months break. Back in Camp
Bastion again, a few days training.
Cyprus, and then you're in Camp Bastion for your training.
Yeah.
And then you
So we went to Camp Bastion, and 3 days before we was meant to go back on the front line, we got told where we was going, a place called Babaji. So I was like, right, you're taking over the Gurkhas. And then we were like, right, lads, come on, get on parade, we need to tell you something. So when you're in Afghan, you're sort of like trying to train the Afghan army to look after their own country.
Oh, I remember the story you're going to tell me. Shit.
And then
I forgot.
obviously they live with you. And then one of them has been infiltrated by the Taliban, told to go into the Gurkhas ops office with an RPG, and so he did. It's like 3 days before we was going.
And if I remember correctly, they rolled us in this little sort of like a steel container, which turned into an office. All the sat there, aren't they, or whatever it was.
Yeah, like they're made out of these things called Hescore basses.
Yeah. So they're in there, filled with rocks, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're in there, and then literally all they could be chatting about when you're going home, what they're doing. How many was in there again?
It was a full company in that base, so probably.
And then an RPG went straight in from guys
straight
before
in,
they were training.
and he had a AK-47 as well. Started letting rounds off for all the Gurkhas. So I think he killed about 3 people, and loads of Gurkhas were injured. So then we got told that, it was like, no way. And it was like, right, you've still got to live with these Afghan army, but you have to, like, every hour of the day, one of you has got to stand there keeping an eye on them. So we're like living not knowing if the enemy were right next to us, but there was blood everywhere.
And the crazy thing is though, right, because we can't speak their native language, they're probably sat there going, fucking hell. Some of them, because we are people, aren't they, going, fuck me, he's got a gun on us there, and we didn't know, it'd be like me going, I didn't know fucking Sean was going to fucking do that. You know what I mean? Or wait till they see what we got next.
You can't trust anyone, and I think that's what happens when you go into Civvy Street. You can't trust anyone because even the locals, the Taliban could jump out and start shooting at you, and then he could just chuck his gun down and start walking around, and he'd just be dressed the same as everyone else, and you're like. And when you get into Civvy Street, it's the same thing. You just can't trust anyone, and you're constantly asking questions over and over again. But you don't mean to. Like I hate that I'm like that. It's just your brain's just trained and wired differently now. Yeah.
You're back on the ground now. What's your new fob called?
It was in Babaji. I can't really remember the name of it. But,
right,
so a few weeks went past. We were just going on a few patrols, having a few gunfights like normal, and then it was like, right, we're going to go on a big operation here. It's called the Hornet's Nest. You're going to go behind enemy lines. You're going to pick a fight with them, and then you're gonna keep him away from this road because the locals keep trying to build this road to get local supplies in, and the Taliban's keep killing him. So you're gonna go there, cause a bit of shit, keep him away from it while they build it. So we was like, wow. So we're all packing our stuff and that, more ammunition than I've ever took on any patrol. Everyone's bags was like, lads was having to get the bags on the lads, and like the legs were buckling and all that. You set off at middle at night. Got to a compound. There were 3 compounds. I was in the middle, and then there's one at right of me, one at the left of me. Everyone started getting their head down. Next thing, grenade, someone shouts, grenade. Joe Miller it was. So what the Taliban had sent a kid with a grenade, pulled the pin, took it over the wall at us. So it's gone bang, blown up. We was all like, wow, jumping down. Everyone jumps up roof. Taliban start firing at us. And then we had a gunfight all day that day. It was like 50 degrees as well, right in the middle of summer. And then the next day we moved compounds. It was like the most IED place in the whole of Helmand province. There was IEDs everywhere. So every single step you took, you was looking for IEDs, and it was on top. There was like markers everywhere. Where
mate, my heart stunk a bit then. Can you imagine just going
like just a minefield,
and I've like going like that? Just...
But that feeling's the same now in like Civvy Street now when I'm walking around. Like he's still there. But anyway, so we got to this other compound, and then we had a gunfight that morning with him. And then Dee Dee was on the roof. I was downstairs with the other lads. Then we had a man down. Dee Dee had been shot straight through his side there. Plate there.
So it went in between the plates, basically.
Yeah, like there. Because you've got a full plate there and a full plate on your back.
Yeah.
So they got him right through there. So he was like, no way, I can't believe it. They got him downstairs. You have like one medic out of the whole group who will like treat the casualty. So like even though he's your mate, there's 20 of you stood around like, I want to do something, I need to help him.
Yeah.
But you can't because the medic's trying to do it. Smudgy we were called. Anyway, he's trying to get this drip inside him, and he couldn't get the drip in, to help him. I think what was it called, celluline drip or something like that.
Yeah, celluline.
Yeah. So we was like, come on, and then you get like this golden hour.
And you're still under fire while this is happening, taking it.
You can get like this golden hour where they say that if you can get him on the chopper and back to Bastion, then they're probably surviving it. So he was like, right, he's got the drip in, the chopper's on the way, let's get him on there. Next thing, the guy's been told to come and get Dee Dee from Camp Bastion. And then higher above him said, no, you can't go, there's a sandstorm. He was like, what do you mean I can't go? I said, there's a sandstorm you're about to see. He said, listen, I'm going to get him. So this guy is set off blind, like can't see anything. He's had to get an Apache who's got like infrared, so he can see through it all. And he's had to like follow him all the way to our where we are.
Yeah.
But like not lose sight of him. And if he did, it'd be like they'd probably crash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Martins had just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah, they come and got him and that. My mate Tom Smith, who was in training with me and Dee Dee, he'd run out with the stretcher with Dee Dee on. And they got him on the stretch, and everyone thought, oh, it's going to be sound. They got him back to Bastion, and then back to Birmingham. And then about 6-7 days later, we just got told that he'd died.
Wow. But he survived the full 6-7 days?
Yeah. He got to like go home, and his mum got to see him.
So obviously, but within that 6-7 days, they just probably were keeping him alive, or has just things got worse? Do you know?
I think they were just they was trying everything they could.
Right. Yeah.
Just trying everything they could, yeah. But obviously, it sadly went.
Wow.
Well, I dread to think what vital organs. I mean, you got your lungs, your kidney, liver. What?
Yeah. The thing is, like what Martin was saying before, it ricochets, doesn't it, everywhere? Kind of thing. Like when it goes, it can come off your bones and just kind of
ping around a bit. That's
like
actually what the smaller the ammunition is, that's what it's made for. It's made not to kill people, it's meant to maim them. So, one injured person, they're going to send people to come and drag him out, and then there's an opportunity to get more people there.
Yeah. And then the fragments then poison the blood and septicemia and whatever, and so on and so on and so on. Wow.
And then the next day we got to another compound. We didn't sleep for like 5 days. This was like the hardest.
So is this after the news? You've got this news now?
No. This is still the operation.
Right.
It was like a 5-day operation. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow.
the group of the lads went to another compound, but they didn't know it'd been booby trapped with IEDs. And the captain, he was called Captain Griffiths, he ended up standing on one of the IEDs and it blew him up, blew his leg off, but he died as well. Like, I think it was the day after D-Day. But yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So you'd actually gone to somewhere you thought you was going to be safe.
Yeah.
And they've got in there before. They've managed
They've
somehow.
booby trapped it. There's always one step ahead. Like, they're not stupid as all one. Like,
No.
they might look it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at them and think, how can they keep up with us? But
Well, they know the terrain, they know the ground, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And if they're the ones who are attacking, I suppose it's better to be the one attacking than the one waiting the attacking it, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because you're always going to be one step ahead, because you can then say, well, we know they're going that way, let's do X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? You can. Some guys running around with an AK and a couple clips of ammunition
and flip-flops.
and flip-flops could do that much damage.
They do all the lives, aren't they? All the lives.
Well, they've been under attack for a lot longer than we've been alive, haven't we? You know what I mean? And then was it Russia that left all the ammunition there, and he left a lot of ammunition. There's that famous film, isn't it, with Nicolas Cage? I know it's not obviously based upon real, but it's sort of semi, isn't it? Is it called God of War or something? And Summit of War.
Yeah, the arms dealer.
Yeah, and they were like, it's crazy, isn't it, when you watch these dramatizations of what actually happened after Black Market and stuff like that. It's like, why would you leave all that ammunition there, knowing that the bad things and terrible things could happen? But I suppose that's a podcast you could do for days on end, innit?
I put surely with football as well, and think, like, obviously, like, God rest everybody who lost their lives, but like, obviously there's Barry's mates lost his life and the captain, but on that day or that week or whatever, how many are the Taliban? Do you know, like, the numbers to what we lose, to what they lose?
The Taliban numbers went down massively that operation, because
That's what I mean.
there's a documentary into the Hornet's Nest, like, I'll send it to you later.
Yeah.
If you watch that, it's all the headcam footage from the operation, and we give it them after they shoot our mates. They get it big style. A couple of weeks after that as well, was back in the camp in Babaji, and a guy's come running in the compound with his daughter. She steps on an IED, the Taliban lay for us. Kids about 7, no legs, no arm. Still hear the dad scream out of my head. All the like the little bits hanging out of her legs and that, like, traumatised, like she died as well.
And he's coming begging you to help her.
Yeah. Well, we did everything we could.
And she died.
Yeah.
Jesus. My mate, I forgot his name now. God, I've not seen him in a while. Mark, sorry, but he's one of my best friends. Man, I'm just blown away what you said. But Mark, he went to Iraq and Afghan, and he said one of the things you said before about the kid, and he said, dude, just like to have him like that, and he just got over the wall, like that, and he's boom, boom, and he's like, what do you do? Do you shoot a kid?
It's Taliban tactics. This is what they did. They used to get locals, and then they used to get their kids and say, I'm going to kill your kid if you don't shoot at the English over there.
Well, the guy that blew me up, he was 14. The Taliban released it.
Oh, you said a guy. I thought I assumed you meant a man before.
I was referring to a male, but the Taliban released the details afterwards, and we found out that the lad that blew us up were 14 years old.
So I'm guessing, obviously, he lost his life as well.
God, yeah.
No, because I have actually heard those stories of, like, where somebody's, like, had an IED, but I don't know if it's been attached to them and stuff, but, like, it's caused more damage to them, but then they've kind of been left, like, with no limbs and stuff, but they managed to survive.
Well, I know things partially detonate sometimes, so they detonate what instead of the actual explosive. But
right, but a full like.
Oh yeah, it's right.
So just a quick one. At 14, if we go around the table, I was MCing, drinking Mad Dog 2020, riding around on crosses on Moor Park, looking for any type of bird I could absolutely like give a good kiss to. What were you doing?
I said kiss.
What's going on? I know that you were doing
down,
the same.
Byron.
Calm down, PG-13. So like, that's what I was doing. What were you doing? Probably same. That's triple C, right? When we were 14.
When I was. That's what I mean. Yeah, when I was. But like, I know it's not the exact same as them, but there was still people older than me making me do stuff at that age and sell stuff and do you know, like, they still in this country they still use. The elders still use kids. Do you know what I mean? Not to that extent.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Got where you're going with that.
But they're still saying, because it's nobody's ever going to suspect a child or a kid if you're just kind of it's like
picking on the weak for personal gain.
It's counter-line, grooming,
yeah.
criminal exploitation. That's what we call it. But over there, they call it life or death. Maybe like someone's going to die. But 14.
So
Wow.
now we're going up now we're talking about like when we're younger. So when you was younger, Martin, did you always want to join the army, or did you have like, do you know, like, so when I was younger, I always wanted to be a bodyguard.
Yeah.
And I think it stems from I watched The Bodyguard, Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
So that was my. I thought you were going to shake me hand then.
No, it wasn't. You don't deserve an answer for that.
A bit disappointed, to be honest with you.
No, I thought he was going to say like he watched Bruce Willis or something explode out of a building or some shit. Fucking hell.
But, so what did you want to do as a child? And
Honestly, mate, I don't remember what I wanted to do as a child, because I had a majority of my childhood from very young. I had really nice parents who've gone little family orders and stuff, and it was nice. And then I went through a period of being abused by another family member.
wow,
That was when I was about sort of 6, 7, and then after that I went through a phase of being bullied by my brother. So I was so disconnected from being a young boy, just like full of emotion and hatred, and so I went well off the rails. So I didn't really have any goals or anything I wanted to aim for. That's why I guess I ended up joining the army, just out of desperation. It was either, the way I saw it, a bit like, Barry said, it either maybe prison or a coffin. It was that serious. Didn't really know, had no direction or anything.
yeah.
So yeah, that's why I ended up going.
So when you say like abused, do you like physically, like just mentally, like?
Physical and sexual, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Do you think it's when you said you wanted to feel manly? Do you know, like, do you reckon that's from your child? Because you were saying before, like you were searching for something, was you?
Yeah, well, I guess for many years I felt, weak, vulnerable, confused, guilty, angry, all this confusion and disconnection.
Yeah.
So obviously once I became older, into my teens and that, and obviously once I fell into the wrong crowd, I needed that. I needed the violence and everything to vent what was going on inside. I didn't know how to deal with it or what. I kept things to myself for a long time. Like the childhood stuff I only processed about a couple of years ago, so it's been holding on to it for that long.
Yeah.
Was this what you mean? Your childhood stuff and what you mentioned before, the word that begins with A?
Yeah. And so, just looking for somewhere to vent that, and through being so disconnected and so lost, the army sell the dream, don't they? You've got a family, you'll fit in here, and it does do that.
Yeah.
But we're also just there to be part of the war machine,
Yeah.
It's all to fight for country, it's honourable, and there's so much stuff going on in our country that don't really serve us. How many homeless veterans do you hear about now?
I think that's perfect. Knowing what you feel like now, you're still going through stuff. You're miles ahead of all of us for your recovery, which
huge.
I can't wait to absolutely pester your phone and be like, God, I wish I never come on that podcast. And then me and Baz are like, we can jump out of a plane. You're doing it as well.
Yeah, I'm keen for anything new.
But I even feel difficult asking the question, but knowing how you feel now and how long it took you to recover and the way the politicians are running this country at the moment, and like you just said then, there has never since I was a child been enough money to feed, change, support anything homeless people, but there's money for the hotels. Mm-hmm. Would you go back and do it again?
I wouldn't.
You're saying no.
I'm now I perceive things that I'm grateful for what I've experienced.
Okay.
So would I go back and do it again? Well, I'd just trust it. If it was supposed to happen like that, it'd have to happen like that. Because to what I've learned, coming out on the other side of it, and how we can actually support ourselves to not being stuck in the past anymore, I'm dead grateful for that now. And now I get to share these things that have been around for thousands of years with other people still stuck in that cycle that have no awareness of these things, But
I suppose the catch-22 to that is, to get to where you are now, you have to go through that suffering.
Yeah.
We said the surgeon there, my brothers died. That was the worst thing then. But the person I am now, oh my God, I'm happy. You know what I mean? But not happy. But if I could go back and bring my brother back and practically reset everything, of course I'd do it. Mm-hmm. But then I wouldn't become who I am now. God knows what else could have happened. God knows who else could have died that night if I would have took his, because they were going around looking for anyone anyway. So what could have been? But imagine if we could go back, we was taught about the things that you're going to explain in a minute. We was taught a little bit better in school about opening businesses, society, things, you know what I mean, things that we all, I think we can agree we should be taught in schools, looking after ourselves. And maybe you would have gone down that path naturally anyway without going through the crazy stuff you've been through.
I want to say as well, like if you like you said before, you wanted to obviously you had trauma as a child. You've always been searching for something.
Yeah.
Obviously now you feel, I don't know the word to use, but you kind of feel healed from what happened when you was younger. If you'd have never been through all this, would you have ever been healed, or would you be living for the rest of your life now till the age of 60, 70 with them thoughts of 50s? Do you know what I mean? So the fact that you've been through these tours and you did MMA and all the rest of it, and obviously you had problems with drink and one thing and another, and drugs. We got to say drugs.
Yeah.
You could possibly be living.
Yeah.
Tormented every day of your life.
It's so if you could exchange going to Afghan and all the stuff you did and all that lot to some sort of other, say we could go back now to some other sort of intervention where you were looking for something, and let's say me and you pop up in a time machine now and we go, right, you don't know this yet, but you're actually quite a good fighter and you're going to go into your MMA, which you did anyway. We're going to put you onto that, but you're going to meet this coach. That coach is then going to make you, you're going to, fucking, I don't want to go like all kids are. Next minute you're like, fuck me, I want to buy me up. That's the same with me with your gym. I used to hate the gym at the first. Now I've got more gym equipment than I have anything else, you know what I mean? Because you love all doing it. You find that passion, the war kicks off, you don't go anywhere, and you go down different paths. You add that positive intervention.
Yeah.
But because you didn't have, imagine,
you didn't see positive at the time.
Imagine school, right, in year 11, you did all your exams. Imagine you did your exams at the beginning of year 11, right? And the rest of year 11, before you leave, was you've got to do a course on cooking. Now, I don't mean to start cooking you fucking menu. I'm going to go to school and cook a cheesecake. You've got to cook a meal and learn ironing, getting up. They've got like a course. You've got to make sure you turn up on time. You've got to iron a suit. You've got to stitch a suit. You've got to, then an MMA fight comes in, a boxing coach comes in. And for all this time, like, you know, like your PE, you say your PE, your personal, whatever they call it now in school, you know, like we called it PE, didn't we? Still, instead of it being like doing track, you know, always the same crap, weren't it? It was you're going to do actual bit of bodybuilding, bit of weightlifting, a bit of muscular strength injury, all these different things. So it changed in the last year. So when you left high school, you was like, I know how to open a bank. I know a little bit more about money. I know that actually that if I'm a girl, that if I go up this route at college, I can do that. But if I do this college, I can do that. Because I'll tell you, this is the truth, right? Sometimes in schools, I forget, I don't plan what I say. And I'll say, like, lads, go, when you leave school, be a plumber, be a plasterer, be an electrician, you're fucking going to print money. I'm not lying, am I? But with girls, it sometimes naturally slips out, even though I know I shouldn't say it. Oh, well, girls, I can't wait to see you owning your own beauty salons and doing all this. And some teachers will go, you should have said business as well. But I'll go, I know a few girls that earn 10 times more money doing nails than any man I've ever met.
Yeah.
It is mental how much money is in cosmetics and beauty, but yet in school you can't tell girls, listen, girls fucking abuse the system, go and get your qualifications, do all your stuff and be rich. Name one girl who owns a salon who was driving around in a nice car. Never go hungry. Exactly, but you can't do that, can you? So imagine year 11 was like that. You both might have been on two totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it isn't about that, is it? It's.
Well, you know, imagine if schools now, I know they're doing a lot more now, but imagine if we knew from a very early age how to regulate our emotions.
Yeah.
If we were able to, you know, not let other people's perceptions or projections actually bother us. You nailed it over there on one of your videos when you're talking about dancing. Yeah. So when you were 5 on dance floor, you didn't give two shits about what someone was thinking or saying. You just enjoy yourself. You were free. Yeah. But over time, we're conditioned to either fit in, you know, find a purpose, find an identity, or I can't do this because I'm worried about being judged or whatever, or judging myself. And we get stuck in this endless cycle, don't we? And that starts from a very early age.
Is that your way to have your little secret fan you bought in and then just show not see it back in my t-shirt?
And you said the same, didn't you, about what, like, you know, you use your reference Alster before, didn't you, and all jokes aside, and you said that you feel like you know the paranoia sort of thing, and you can't trust anyone.
Yeah, it's completely like ruined my life, to be honest with you. And
you've been conditioned, haven't you?
You saying that you found a way to heal and that, like, obviously I want to.
That's something cracking with you,
definitely, because we're going through a bit of a bad spot at the minute as well, so looking for help at the minute.
I'm same, mate. I'm same. And we're
Sorry to hear that, Bazzy. You don't deserve to be going through for what you've done for this
I've
country.
tried. I've been out for 10 years, and you just get passed from pillar to post. Like, there's no serious help out there for veterans. And it's like you said, it kills me seeing them on the street.
Yeah.
Like, you mad? Do you know what we've been through? And they're on the street.
Do you know, when I was at my worst, it was after my father passed, I tried taking my own life. And obviously, fortunately, I survived, but I knew they needed help, obviously, but there was a 6-month waiting list to get admitted into the MOD. I can't remember what it's called. You go there if you're having severe mental health issues, and you're admitted there for a long period of time until you're fit to be released into the wild again. There was a 6-month waiting list.
Wow. Yeah.
Do you know it's great. It's like when my brother died, I remember being sat in my front room, and then no matter how much you tried to get away from it, we had the TV on in the background, and it was just talking about the weather or something, and it came on. Just a reminder, whatever, John Joe Hyten has been brutally stabbed to death and murdered and butchered and stuff like that. Oh yeah, TikTok shop in Preston. I remember my mum.
TikTok shop.
My mum TikTok shop. Yeah, my mum. I remember my mum. Honestly, I'd never seen a woman cry that much, and then she knew she couldn't work. She just couldn't. I believe you, me, she couldn't. I went to her mum's house once. I lifted, she was in bed, and she was talking about taking it, you know what I mean? I was like, I've got to cope with my brother, cope with this. And she applied for, correct me if I'm wrong, is it called personal, is it PIP?
Personal independence.
And they denied her straight away. But yeah, I've met people that are on it because they smoke too much weed.
Yeah, it's
mad, innit? My mum's
backwards system, isn't it?
Backwards, but then my mum still to this day has got, I think they call it a pill, what they call it, you got all your pills in.
All right,
like a pill, no, but like from the doctor, it's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you open it like that. And like what you give like OAPs and all, she has to still take all these tablets and stuff like that. So, and she's only just now, she's actually doing a special podcast for you next week, isn't she?
Yeah.
And to get to that point is mental, but it's just crazy, isn't it? I can go through all that stuff and get denied what you're entitled to.
I've been through it all. We've been
homeless
denied.
Vets.
They make it like you're lying. A lot of them, and
we tried to get health insurance. No. So I tried to get, when I bought this house, my mortgage advisor says 2 things you've got to have, or you won't get the mortgage. You've got to have health insurance and home insurance. So my home insurance went through straight away. Right, I thought, right, buzzing, you had that to your mortgage. These are things you don't think about. I didn't just fail my health insurance, but the letter had this is no joke, red lettering on it. It said, due to my PTSD, they're unable to insure me.
Wow.
So I can get insured now. I know that now, and it'll just be a more of a higher premium. But that first place that I went to, even my mortgage advisor went, "That's a disgusting letter." That. Yeah, because of my medical record of mental health and suicide, and I was like,
try and get help, and then you penalise for it.
And what is always what they say on social media? Oh, I wish you reached out for help.
Yeah.
It's like
probably insurance companies pushing them adverts.
Oh yeah. You don't know. It could be, couldn't it? Could be.
So what Bazzy's saying now, obviously, but it's sad to hear that Bazzy's struggling with it. You do something, don't you, Martin? Like, would you say that can help veterans, the work you do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us a lowdown.
Give us a bit of a lowdown.
So after I tried taking my own life, I went through a period of self-harming because I realised, I do still want to be here, but I need to feel this pain, and I don't want to go punching people all the time. I need to feel it. So I went through the whole self-harming thing, and then one day, I was scared to leave the apartment because I was hearing voices telling me to hurt myself, hurting other people. During the day, I'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night, and just a pretty miserable existence at the time. And then one day, I just had this almost like a telepathic voice saying, "Go outside for a walk in nature," and I just knew I needed to listen to it. So I went outside for a little walk in the forest behind the flat that I lived at. And I came around and just, was looking at what I could see, listening to the sounds, feeling what I could smell. And I came back to the flat, and I was just like, what's going on? It's the first time I felt peaceful, for as long as I could remember. And I realised it's because I was present. And I wasn't being tormented by the little voices that want to take me back to the past, or, worried about something in the future that's never happened and probably will never happen. And so I just started to look into it more, being present and the past and the future, and what else I can do to sort of help me. So then I got onto nature therapy, started going out wild camping a little bit more, spending time in nature. And yourselves, you go out for a walk, you come back feeling peaceful, don't you?
Yeah.
you've not gained anything, you've not got anything additional, you've just remembered who you are.
Yeah.
And that peace, that presence, that's just us tuning into who we truly are. We are not the past or the future. You know, we're not a need to worry, not a need to judge, but there's so many things we go through throughout our lives that condition us to have these limiting beliefs and stuck to the past or, you know, or the future. And so once I started working all this and learning about the nervous system and how to regulate it and whatnot, you know, it's going to be very difficult to anyone to heal themselves if they've got a dysregulated nervous system, because our body, you know, if our body records all the emotions that we experience, whether we bury them down or we acknowledge them and process them, no, it's just, it builds memories of emotion and energy. And you can't really process things if you're still in that sort of tense state, you know. So once you learn how to regulate your nervous system, which whatever tools work for you personally, because you've got your own, everyone's got their own individual blueprints to be what works for you, what works for you, what works for you, what works for you, you know. And then you can start letting go of the weights that we're carrying. And what I found is different modalities like breathwork, cold water therapy. I've used psychedelics and plant medicines in the past. And they all play a part in us letting go, you know, to elevate ourselves consciously. And the beauty of that is, yeah, it's a difficult process because it involves facing our fears, you know, particularly men, you know, and people that have served in the army. You're conditioned so much to ignore emotions, be a man's man, you know. But it's not who we truly are. That's why we're looking for all these different identities. And in our society, I think, like, you grow up, don't you, and you've got all these carrots dangling. Do you want to be this? Do you want to be that? You should be this, you should be that. You've got to be good at this. You've got to look like that. You've got to get this to be happy. And we're always chasing something, chasing happiness, chasing success. Well, I believe that, you know, true success is happiness. Happiness isn't success. And as long as we're chasing something, it's because we're chasing, there's a void within us somewhere. We need that void to be filled. And it's because deep down we know that all this that's vibrating around us isn't who we truly are. There's so much more to life.
So I said that to you before. I'm at a pit stage now where I'm so at one with myself that I can admit where I'm wrong. Do you know what I mean? So I've come from that to here, and I know I'm at the stage now where I actually even know my character. So I'm not a roadman. I'm not a chav. I'm not this. I'm not this. You know what I actually am? If I could go back to school now, not now, I'm a big geek.
Right.
I'm being deadly serious. I do nothing but when all these lights are off, I'm here playing my PlayStation 5 every night, playing golf, playing fantasy games, Resident Evil, COD. When I was at school, all my tattoos were about me and my brother's life. I've got bloody Pokemon on me, Resident Evil, because I'm so comfortable with where I am. But if I look back in year 7 of high school and we're all wearing rock ports and listening to Triple C, and the first music we ever heard from London was point your stick, point your stick, point your stick, point your stick, and everyone was going, yo, I'm strapped up, you're gonna get this and that. Never even held a gun in my life. You know what I mean? I'd like look at myself now and go, wow, no, that's not me. But no, I'm a proper geek. And I suppose over the last 4 weeks, just chilling with you, that's helped me as well, because my mum said he's just me, but older. You know what I mean? He's just exactly the same, and we both look like fish and rice cake guy as well. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. If you could go back and like be one with yourself, you grow into that person instead of pretending to not. It's like your personality. Have you ever heard of that? Where your personality is something you put on when you go to the door. You put your personality on, and then when you come home at night, you take it off, and you're in your bird's pajamas and slippers on, getting a manicure.
Why did you tell me?
Do you know what I mean? We all do it, don't we? And imagine, hey, someone knocks on the door, you go, babe, yo, what you saying, yo, what you saying, G? You know what I mean? But it ain't that just, I know we're all laughing about it, but how shit is that? And again,
fit in, aren't you?
I know we're not talking about,
you just you want to be normal, like that's what I always go on about. Like they always used to say, "Oh, I just want to be normal like everybody else." But what's normal?
But what is normal? Actually, me and you do that stupid stuff. What is normal, innit? Well, that's our normal, being idiots, innit? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Some people would now like. I put a video up a few months ago, and I was dancing outside Tokyo Joe's, and I purposely did it just for like a social media experiment. I had a pink bobble in my hair and all the rest of it, and people was in my inbox, left, right, and Chelsea, are you all right? Or laughing at me and this, that, the other, one thing and another. And there was all sorts. And the craziest thing is, mate, like, without getting emotional, because it's difficult for me, but I've never been at peace. There's more in my life. My whole life, I've struggled. Like I've got PTSD, not from like the military and stuff like that, but I've struggled all my life from a young child, and now I feel at peace and I'm happy. And people still want to judge you for what? Dancing. I'm not out selling stuff or pointy or trying to spread a bad message. And I just think sometimes, what is up with society? Do you know like I could go to the Caribbean, right? And I could go and dance down the street in the Caribbean, they would not bat an eyelid. They would not bat an eyelid. I've been to Barbados and it's just normal behaviour, but for some reason, and I go back to, like you say, and that's why I had to go back to my childhood, and I went back to where I used to hang around with, like playing kit can and all the rest of it. And I literally went back to my childhood, and I used to look at old pictures and think, you know what, I'm going back to that, like I said on that video, like when I was 5 years old, I never used to think about anybody or anything, and that's me. When I'm dancing, I'm that 5-year-old again, dancing on a stage, and I feel at peace and I feel happy. And I have my headphones in and I have my glasses on because I just zone out, probably like what Barry does with your MCing when you say you want to express yourself.
Yeah, that's
just me expressing myself.
That's how I tackle a lot of my trauma and stuff. Yeah, and get my expressions out. Sometimes I don't know how to get them out in words to people. So I do my music. It saved me a lot of time.
Which is fantastic, and people need to start understanding. People that people same but different. People express themselves. Some people might wear certain clothes. They might be arty. They might go and do what you do and go on what, so you might do. We all have different ways, don't we, of expressing ourselves, and I think it's massive that people, yourself expressing with your tattoos, but you'll be judged. I guarantee people that's looking for tattoos straight away, child this, and it's a stigma, and it needs to stop. People really need to stop judging people for what they're doing. But
we'll only stop it if the media stops it. It's crazy, isn't it?
Everything's a projection, isn't it? So whatever someone sees in you, it's just a reflection of something of their own, stuff that they're not ready to deal with. It's much easier to blame someone else or judge someone else than it is to accept that you might be, falling short somewhere, or you could be doing something a little bit differently.
So
we're on Instagram, _health_happiness_healing, or you can go to the website www.healthhappinessandhealing.co.uk. Bit of a mouthful in it, Triple H.
And B, your new song's about to come out, which I'm gutted we were going to put at the end, but where can they find that? And all the rest of your music, where's it going to go?
Hustle 4 Media.
Hustle 4 Media.
It's MLD's channel. That's going to be out on Saturday night.
And at least you know when you're listening to my man that it's like pure pain, passion and stuff like that, and he's a sick MC as well. So that's coming out soon. Both happy, have a good time,
I can't say as well, thank you for your service, guys. Honestly, thank you for that's another thing in this country, and anybody listening, that you need to show respect to these gentlemen. You can go to America and stuff, and the squaddies there get nothing but respect. Sometimes I think it's lacking. I know they might do Remembrance Day every now and again.
Remembrance Day
every single day.
Weird that, innit? Remembrance Day. But then other things have got Remembrance Month and stuff, and these are the podcasts we could do for hours. It'd probably cause
people shouldn't forget the sacrifices that they.
But no, thank you so much, and we're going to talk after this anyway. Thank you guys. Round of applause. Whoa, go on, guys. Well done. Thank you for watching on TikTok, much appreciated. We can't go live for our next one because there's some very delicate and sensitive information, but thank you very, 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 very much. We'll see you all later. Peace. Thank you guys.